Here we are and celebrating Dorri's birthday, and she got rain for her birthday.
Yeah, that's right. That's what that was.
Woo, it's coming down. I like the rain on the roof.
Bumps on the road.
There's almost a river. Hey, birthday girl.
Not as heavy as I haven't any lipstick on.
You still look beautiful.
She got her hair all done. This is nice.
Oh. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
I'm Yvonne. Nice to
Yvonne.
finally meet you.
It's nice to finally meet you. Yeah.
Hi, Grandma Dorri.
Oh my gosh. No, we flew and then we drove from Phoenix. So.
Oh, okay. A cute little car.
Look at our elegant mama.
She looks wonderful. Well, the weather couldn't be any better. Isn't it great?
You don't picture that. I'll break your
Uh-oh. Okay. She doesn't like paparazzi.
I don't like paparazzi.
Let Dorri have the shade. I think
Yeah, if you don't want to be in the camera side, you better sit on that side. Yeah.
the shade.
You want the seat here?
Or in the middle. You want the sun or the shade?
I think I'm better suited.
Yeah.
Shade?
Here you go, Dorri, in the car. In the car.
That's the ones that they press.
Now, what sandwich was that? You were talking about that last time.
Anybody have anything they want to say to Grandma Dorri on video?
Happy birthday, Grandma Dorri, and many more. Happy birthday.
Anybody want to say anything for Grandma Dorri?
Well, happy birthday.
Hello? Hello, how are you? Hi. Jen video. Hello, how are you? Isn't that beautiful?
I sat with Dorri the first night I ever came to this park.
Yeah.
To the New Year's Eve dance, and that's when I met Ralph.
Oh, so she's good luck to you.
Yeah.
She's a good
We've been
luck.
together
Oh,
ever
that's
since.
perfect. That's great. She's good.
Oh, excuse me.
It's me.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Two of the songs she taught me was Don't Fence Me In and I'm Gonna Buy a Paper Doll. Remember those? How many of you remember those songs? Well, you see, all the boys are coming back from, let's say boys, you know, because I was only 4, and I was, and we'd greet them when they were coming back into Bremerton. That was about 1945, you know, the war was over, thank God. And so then we'd go down and sing to them. And so Ginger knew the song, what was it? I'm gonna buy a paper doll that I can call my a doll that other fellows cannot steal. You can join me. Very, very nice with the birdie, birdie eyes. We'll have you find the dolls that are real. When I come home and I
I'd rather have a paper doll to call my own than have a fictional life that's filled like hell.
That's all right. That's wonderful.
Remember that one, Mom?
The first time you guys saw
Yeah.
Thank you,
a
dear.
momentous occasion. Yeah.
Thanks for being a wonderful audience.
We love you.
He doesn't want me, but I'll never, 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 never let him go sincerely. Oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine.
My turn. There's a break. I get a sit dance.
You can have him in just a minute. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh Lord, won't you tell me why I love that fellow so? He doesn't want me, but I'll never, 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 never let him go sincerely. Oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please.
or maybe 3. And we had a lot of consumer problems where they actually were defrauded. And so I went and talked to the base commander and I said, we need to be doing something about that. And he said, okay, you go, figure it out. So I took consumer complaints from people, if they had a problem, if they had their repairs done, it wasn't done correctly, if they didn't get their refunds back.
The best part of my life was my 30 years in the post office. It gave me a whole new life, and it was just absolutely the making of me. And I was very fortunate to be in the right place at the right time when Kennedy came in and put in the right to work for opportunity for women, and I was one of them. That's why they let me be a supervisor, otherwise I could never have even done that. And I had all these radical, they called the Port Angeles Post Office carriers the most radical in Washington. But by the time I got done with them, and by the time I did their routes all over, and gave them, and quit all this stuff of being too personal with them, and they were my Sweet Williams. So, and then I went on and of course surprised the postmaster ahead of me. He says, there's no way you could be a postmaster. Well, he didn't know that I'd done every job in the post office because he never did his job and I also did his. So it was just very simple. All I had to do was prove to Seattle that I could do it. So I had 10 years of that. And that was really duck soup compared to taking care of all these carriers. But and of course the rest of my life, has just been, I'm just grateful for everything. And of course I'm grateful for my children and all my family, even though they always go away from me and I have to put my time in Yuma, which isn't killing me. Yeah, so, but anyway, I'm really pleased to see all of you out, and I'm glad that I can still say all your names. I think that's amazing. Yeah, so I hope you don't go away and leave any of this food.
Her refrigerator's not big enough.
I'm working on it. Yeah. So, I'll give this back to my daughter.
We have a video that we're gonna play, and after that, we thought it'd be neat if you guys wanna come up and have a funny story or, stuff you like best about Dorri.
Gossip. Oh, we got that.
We want the dirt.
Not sex, I can imagine.
Dear Dorri, happy birthday to you.
And
many more.
Yes, we have a gorgeous family. Yeah. And I think it was 10 years ago. I don't think you were here. Very good, Dorri. You were here, yeah. You were here then. Love you. I put my makeup on. You look good. So is mine, Dorri. Thank you. Do the pageant wave. Do your wave. Okay. You got twins yourself and you don't know what
Yes. People can't tell them apart, but I can. But you know, there was a time when they were getting their hair cut. We couldn't tell them. Oh, no, not really. Brian had it on my dad. Brian like my dad. Kevin's like me, like my mother. No. Hi, Pop, how you doing? Fine, Brian. What's going on? Yeah, that of course.
I think we're ready to go.
Well, I'm just a driver.
See, you are learning. I don't care what you said about O'Hara.
I get my mind made up every day.
Thank God for O'Hara. Yeah. The rest of your case, right? Yes, you did an excellent
Silence is bliss, darling.
Well, you.
Would you
Oh
wanna
my
correct
goodness, let's not do that. What was I gonna be when I was very young?
What did you want to be?
I was gonna get married and have 13, no, I was gonna have 13 children and never get married.
Talk about independent. And never get married with
And
13
never get
kids?
married, yeah.
Why is
I have
that?
13 children, I don't know why I don't do that.
Were you
I
gonna
didn't
live in
know
an
why
old
you
shoe?
want children. Well, I wanted 13 children because I love little kids,
Oh.
but I was never gonna
You
get
just didn't want a
married
husband.
because I had my father.
Oh.
That's probably why I thought that,
Hmm.
yeah.
So you didn't want to be a ballerina or anything like
No.
that? No career? And here you end up.
She wanted to be a nurse.
Major career.
I always wanted to be a nurse. That was all I remember wanting to be, a nurse.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you have 13 kids. And you go home from work.
13.
And take care of them by
I
yourself.
don't know if I was still gonna have the 13 kids when I wanted to be a nurse. Yeah.
All right. Do you remember your first boyfriend's name? Or how old you were?
Well, what's a boyfriend?
One that, a boy that
One
you
that you
kissed.
remember,
Memorable. Your first love.
My first real boyfriend was the man I married,
Really?
Gene Pettit,
Okay. Really? How old were you when you met him?
17.
Okay. And how long did you date before you got married?
Well, we got married when I was 19.
Oh, you both were
But
married.
he
at
was
19.
gone a lot, and I met him in school, and then he flunked out, and that should have told me something.
Red flag.
And then he went back to his father. His father and mother split up, and the reason he ever ended up in Enumclaw was his mother married a barber, and the barber decided it'd be a good idea to go to Enumclaw and be a barber. And so he came to Enumclaw and set up a shop, and so then she sent for Gene to come and live with her because he wouldn't go to school where he was at with his dad. So that's how he got to Enumclaw.
Oh.
And then when he flunked out in Enumclaw, he went back to live with his dad. So then it was just writing back and forth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could have just got into nursing, the only thing this is depression, you know.
Oh, wow.
No money, not a dollar in your pocket ever. And with a Catholic school in Yakima, Washington, would take like 3 women every year and let them come and live there and learn to be a nurse, and it didn't cost. So for 3 semesters, I put in for that job. Not job, but that schooling.
Yeah, scholarship.
But every time they told me, well, write again next time, because
Oh.
they filled the job. And see, I was not, and it wasn't a very good idea because I was too far away.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always people closer to Yakima that got this scholarship. I
Right.
don't think we called it a scholarship then.
Okay.
We just got
Like a grant.
yeah. So that was the closest I got to being at that time. The only job I could find was working as a maid,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that in 3 different homes.
How much did you make? Do you remember?
$20 a month.
Oh my gosh.
And they thought that was
Jeez.
great because I got my board and room.
Oh, okay. So that was your spending money. $20. Of course, $20 went a lot further than $5 a week.
Yeah. And the first family, I didn't live with them, and I went there every day after school. So I made $5 a month.
Gosh.
And when you have never had any money, not a dime in your pocket except babysitting money,
That's a
which
lot.
I babysat all night, sometimes all weekend for a quarter.
Oh man. See, it was a quarter an hour and we babysat. Yeah, $5 is a
Yeah,
lot.
that's hard to believe.
Wow.
But,
Amazing.
yeah, that was,
Okay, what's the
but
next?
the last family, you know, I had to do so much for that $20 and I got so skinny. I weighed 115 pounds. and Gina and I were still writing back and forth. So one day, his sister came along and she said, "We're on our way to swim to visit my dad and my brother, and he wants me to bring you along." Well, at that time, my folks had moved. I was working for those people, and my folks had moved to a place where there was no room for me.
Oh, no.
And so they told me, "Well, I don't know what you're going to do," because I told them I was going to quit my job, that I couldn't take it any longer.
Oh,
And I was
man.
going to quit my job, and they said, "Well, we don't know what you're going to do because there's no place for you here."
Mm.
And it just happened that his sister came along right at that time. So when I went to swim, I just fell in love with his dad. Not him, but his dad. And he wanted so much for me to stay.
Oh.
But after like 2 months or something, he said, "If you kids are going to be here, you're going to get married."
Oh.
And that's how come I got married.
Wow.
And I cried all night.
Already? You
I
cried?
cried all night because I didn't want to get married.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
But
man.
I was just caught. I just didn't know where I was going to
You're
go.
trapped. Yeah.
And I didn't know how in the world I was even going to. I didn't have any money.
Yeah.
I didn't know how I was even going to get home if I wanted to go home.
Jeez.
And my brother did come and visit Gene and his family.
Mm-hmm.
And he did ask me, he said, are you happy that you did this? And I said, "Well, yeah, it's okay." But that time I was pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
See, so
Okay.
that was the end of that.
What brother was that?
Huh?
What brother was that?
Donald.
So how soon after the wedding did you get pregnant? Right away?
Practically right away.
That's like me.
I think so.
Yeah, it's like her. Well, you were working on 13 kids. You're almost
2 weeks
there.
after the honeymoon, we conceived.
Yeah.
I conceived.
An illegitimate.
You didn't do.
I can't say that too much. The only thing I can say regrets about was that, when I think about it, why would I waste 17 years like that? But I still know why I did. I had no
kids.
support. I went home to my folks and they said, "You made your bed, lie in it." And I had no support to help me with jobs or anything like that. So it's just an absolute miracle that I ended up in the post office. That was my saving grace. Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because he was a rock.
He was a rock.
He saved
felt
you.
safe with him?
Yeah, gave me security
Protector.
and he was.
You felt
was
safe.
Just, something I'd never had, something to lean on, somebody who was willing to, whatever I wanted, let's do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a nice
Yeah.
guy.
When just off the top of my head, that's what I say. Maybe the best things in my life were my 2 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about the worst time of your life?
I already told you.
Okay, that was the previous story.
That's really the worst time in my life.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's next?
What moment stands out in history wise? The biggest thing in history that
Because you've seen a lot in 90
Yeah.
years.
Oh, well, it has to be World War II.
Really?
Definitely. World War II was, they think we got a war now.
Yeah.
There's nothing like World War.
How many people died in World War II?
Hundreds of thousands,
I don't
450,000 or something.
Wow.
It's an amazing number.
Jeez.
Yeah, no. And the Depression.
Yeah,
The
the Great
Depression and
Depression.
then World War II.
Yeah.
And, they say, well, we're in a recession and or pretty soon it'll be a depression.
Yeah, do you believe that?
That's not, isn't, what we had was,
There's nothing like that.
everybody was out of work and everybody helped everybody and there was no such thing as Social Security, there was
Right.
no such thing as assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother had $5 a week and she fed 8 of us with it.
What did you eat then? What was your diet?
Well, our diet was very good. Our diet was, she grew a big garden,
Oh, okay.
and then the farm where she was born had lots of fruit and
Vegetables.
berries and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
we went to the farm and we got all those things, and she canned and canned and canned.
That's why you're 90 and you're still healthy.
It certainly had a
Probably.
lot to do with it.
You know?
And our meals were simple, but I don't ever remember a meal that we didn't have. We never
Wow.
were
Never skipped.
without a meal, even though my father often was out of work. But we had this huge garden,
Yeah.
and you know, she didn't even make us work in the garden much.
Really? What did you do for fun as a kid?
Oh, we played all kinds of games out in the fields.
Outside. There were no computers.
We played baseball.
Yeah.
You know, we had a big field out behind our house where we lived,
Yeah.
and had it set up like a baseball, and so we played baseball a lot,
Oh.
and we played
Ring around the rosy or dodgeball?
well, we probably did those things when we were little. But I'm thinking of do you know that game where
Spin the bottle.
well, we played spin the bottle. Older, you know.
When you're older.
No, but you know the game, you kids might do it. I don't know.
Hopscotch?
But the game where one person, and usually we get to one of the boys,
Yeah.
stands like this, and everybody else is out here.
Red Rover?
No.
Oh,
Red light, green light.
No.
Simon Says.
Huh?
Simon Says?
That's almost.
Simon Says, stop. Remember everybody's like,
Oh, no, not that.
oh,
No, I wonder what you ought to remember it.
Okay,
maybe.
keep
Yeah,
describing.
anyway, you're standing here, the man's standing here, the kid, and he's standing here like this. Ah, if I can get up. He's standing here like this, and then you come up and you put your head between my legs.
I don't think we played any games like
I
that.
think it would be sued for sexual harassment nowadays.
Put your head
You
between
couldn't do
my
that
legs.
nowadays.
So you're bent over, you know, and the next person,
Leapfrog.
and maybe there'll be 5 or 6 of us, but one person stays behind, and so you've got 4 or 5 all bent over, you know, and all hanging onto each other's legs, so you make a real strong bridge, and then the person back here
Oh,
runs
leapfrog.
and jumps as far as he can, and jumps on the backs of whoever's how far he can reach.
That's isn't that?
what's wrong with her back?
Yeah.
That answer it is.
No?
We never played that. Whatever that is.
I can't remember what we called it. And I can't remember the next part. I don't know what happened then.
You called the ambulance.
Because, you know, usually when they jumped, the whole thing fell down.
Yeah.
So did the
Oh, okay.
person hanging
That
on.
sounds like leapfrog. Remember you would jump over the backs of...
Yeah, that's one though. That's one. This is a bunch
Yeah.
of people.
This is like the demolition version of leapfrog.
Yeah, we used to play that kind of stuff all the time. We were roughnecks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were roughnecks.
All the
Microwave.
gadgets you have now that you never
We didn't
had.
have anything like that.
You had no dishwasher.
Oh, no, we certainly never heard of a dishwasher. I can remember when my mother finally got a washing machine.
So you had to
And
wash.
up before that, she had all these kids, and she had a big boiler, you know, you remember the boiler like
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Okay, she put that on the stove, filled it full of water, and had a wood stove, and got the water hot enough.
Wow.
And then she had a tub, and she had a horse, you know, a seahorse, what do you call it?
Sawhorse?
Sawhorse.
Yeah.
And she brought that in the house and set the tub, this round tub on it,
Mm-hmm.
poured the water into that, washing all stacked up this high. Had a scrub board.
Yeah. Did you have the ringer? Remember how you ring?
Finally got a ringer,
Oh, man.
but we didn't have it first. So how my mother lived through that. I mean, talk about my life. My
I know, I know.
So, but that's the way I remember it as
Wow.
when I was young. And then finally she got a washing machine.
Oh, man.
And that was a big day.
And
But
but you didn't have a dryer
It
then,
had a
right?
ringer. It wasn't electric or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you had clotheslines. You didn't have dryers, right?
Oh, we always had clotheslines, yeah.
Yeah.
No rules against it.
And refrigerators?
And we didn't have a refrigerator. We had a cold
Ice
chest out on the
box.
ice chest out on the porch.
And then the Iceman had to drop off ice blocks to you?
Well, I think we had to go get them. I don't
Oh.
think they dropped them off.
And what kind of car did you have? Did you have one?
Well, my dad had I think a Model T or a Model A Ford
Okay.
with a rumble seat in it.
Yeah. Did you have to sit back in the rumble seat?
That's where us kids had to sit. Now,
That'd be cold.
two or maybe three of us got back in there,
Yeah.
and then my mother probably still had. I don't think we had my baby sister.
But if it's raining, do you get wet? I mean, it's open to the
Oh, yeah,
elements.
it's wide open. But I don't
And
think
in
we
Washington,
ever went in
that
the
would
rain.
be.
We didn't do that in the rain.
You didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but I know we went clear to Yakima to see my grandparents.
Wow.
Were you a dancer when you were young? Or is
A
that
dancer?
something later in life?
Well, it wasn't later, it was in high school.
In high school? What kind of dances were you doing?
Same thing, well, I wouldn't say the same thing you did.
We did disco.
Monorail.
These guys, well, what did you do in high school? What kind of dance? Oh, no, you were home. No, you weren't homeschooled.
Yeah.
Like now it's like
Electric
hippity
slide.
hop and.
Yeah, they
you know.
don't really. Yeah, because we did the electric slide and stuff, but there's my generation doesn't really. Yeah, the Macarena. Yeah. We don't really invent things.
I learned that later.
Yeah.
After I was, after I was retired.
Yeah.
Okay, when did the Titanic, what year were you alive
19.
when the Titanic was?
Yeah, that was before.
I don't know, when was it?
It was 1914, I think.
That was before she was born.
1914?
Let's see, 90.
I don't think it was that long ago, was it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Before you were born.
Oh, well, that's why I don't remember.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Huh.
Any more?
You guys have any questions?
You gonna ask me how old I am?
I think we know that.
And everybody else does too now. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, but when you look as good as you
started
do.
it when I had my 80th birthday. I never told anybody I was 80. Oh, my goodness.
You should have said
Nobody thought
70.
I was even 70.
You could be 80, you could be 70. People would believe it.
I couldn't be 70.
You could definitely be 80 though.
Huh?
You could definitely be 80 and nobody would think a thing of it. We should have had another 80-year-old birthday party.
Yeah, you should
Heck with
call it
90.
my 80th birthday.
Yeah.
Because half of these people weren't there.
Sure. Or they wouldn't have remembered anyway.
Two-thirds of these people weren't there.
Wow.
Yeah.